Well, hello and welcome back to the Shifting Schools podcast. My name is Trisha Friedman, and if you are tuning in, it's likely that you have heard a few of our previous episodes in this series where we are digging in and exploring the power of play. That's why I'm so excited about this week's special guest, Hala Khalaf, who is the co-executive director of Skateistan. Now, Skateistan really takes our conversations about play to a whole new level. We've talked a lot about the personal and professional benefits of play, but Skateistan is really talking about the societal benefits of play, of elevating play to be a space where, again, learning and growth can happen, but also community building and connection are possible. Skateistan is a truly international NGO that's won all kinds of awards. You'll be able to learn more about them by heading over to the show notes, but I want to read to you a little bit from their website. We are an award-winning NGO driving a global movement in skateboarding and creative learning. Bold, inclusive, and playful, we do whatever it takes to create spaces where young people can learn, play, and shape their futures. By focusing on at-risk BIPOC and migrant communities, we promote inclusivity, diversity, resilience, and autonomy. Skateistan stretches across humanity, and anybody can be a citizen. Together, we can become the most recognized cultural actor in skateboarding. They are connected in so many different places. And again, that's why I'm so excited to have their co-executive director here to talk about their story, to talk about why she loves working with Skateistan, and to talk about the learning possible for your students. Whether they love skateboarding or they're interested in a future career pathway in an NGO, I think this episode is going to promise to teach them something. So before we dig in with this week's guest, we've got a quick word from our show sponsors.
Discover the power of acknowledgement with Libra. In a world where every staff member's dedication shapes the future, recognizing their efforts becomes our mission. Libra transforms your school into a place where achievements, big and small, are celebrated daily, creating a ripple effect of motivation and pride. Join the recognition revolution with Libra, where every achievement is a cause for celebration. For more information and a free demo, contact me at jeff@shiftingschools.com today.
Librarians, meet MacEnvision, the future of library management. With a student-centered design, MacEnvision's intuitive interface and seamless navigation ensures that your students find the information they need quickly and effortlessly. Discover how MacEnvision can transform your school at macen.com/MacEnvision.
And with that, please welcome to the podcast, co-executive director of Skateistan, Hala. Hala, I'm so excited to be speaking to you. In researching for this series, when I stumbled across your organization, Skateistan, I was just mind blown. And I was so happy to learn more about it. It's a huge organization. It happens to be an international NGO. You have so many partnerships. And I'm wondering if we might start off by zooming way in. Can you introduce the organization by maybe telling us about a story, something that it's offering? I know it offers so much, but does a story come to mind that you're thinking, for listeners who don't know Skateistan, this is a story that sort of tells you who we are?
First off, thanks a lot for having me today, Trisha. And I think it's a great opportunity to provide a platform for educators, humanitarians, and others to learn from one another. So well done on your Shifting Schools podcast. And I'm glad to be here to provide a bit of information about Skateistan and about our work around the world. So to answer your question, zooming in, yes, Skateistan started with a few curious out-of-school children on the streets of Kabul and with one guy on a skateboard. That's Ali, founder of Skateistan. The children had never seen a skateboard before, and intuitively they felt that learning to skateboard would be a lot of fun. The aspect of finding fun and joy in learning how to skateboard for the kids sparked an interest for them to want to learn more. And that's when Skateistan began. So Skateistan decided to employ fun, and in audio, I'm gesturing with some air quotes, the word employ, and started a back-to-school program for children who, due to many circumstances, were not able to start formal schooling alongside other children their age. Soon enough, the one skateboard on the street became a classroom that turned into a school and an indoor skate park to ensure providing a safe space for girls in a conflict zone. Then that turned into a global skate school concept, and today, Skateistan has become a global movement for inclusion, bold action, and fun for thousands of children. More than half are girls. Our stories are endless, to be perfectly honest. Nurzai, who was one of the first kids to join Skateistan's programs, is now a Skateistan programs manager based out of Canada. Tin, who started as a participant at the Cambodia Skate School, is now the Skateistan country director there and is creating her own skate community in Phnom Penh. She has participated in several exchange programs for youth and women skaters and has recently been nominated as a panelist in one of our partners' events happening on the side of the Olympics and Paralympics in Paris. So we have a lot to celebrate and a lot of stories to share. Others have gone on and founded their own projects, and of course, others have chosen to take on different paths. So as I mentioned, the stories are endless, and that's in large part due to the fact that Skateistan has always embedded fun and play into its ethos. Today, our purpose is to do whatever it takes to create spaces where children and at-risk youth learn, play, and shape their futures. Maybe let me also add that Skateistan's growth and popularity provided us with a lot of learnings and many great opportunities. And we recognize that we've also matured a lot over the years. This encouraged us not only to run programs at our skate schools, but to also share the experiences, knowledge, and resources with others too. Today, we celebrate a huge success with Skateistan's leading social skate network, and I believe it could very well be the largest skate network in the world, the Good Push Alliance, where more than 1,000 social skate projects get together to learn from one another and share knowledge, experiences, and a very important feature, share financial resources. And we've gone fully global by adopting an international program partnerships model where organizations around the world are supported by Skateistan to run their amazing programs.
Congratulations. It's incredible. And I love how it started with just a few people. It's grown.
Thank you for tuning in to Shifting Schools. Let's pause our discussion to spotlight Libra HQ, a breakthrough in using AI to deepen connections within organizations. Imagine an environment where every staff member feels truly seen and valued. This is the heart of Libra's mission. Libra transforms how leaders celebrate and recognize the personal and professional milestones of their team members. It's not just about reminders. Libra's AI dives deeper, offering insight into enhanced team cohesion and promote a culture where support and acknowledgement are paramount. Picture a school where every individual is acknowledged, from work achievements to personal victories, creating a culture of appreciation in just minutes a day. In these challenging times, where the demands on educators have never been higher, Libra offers a way for school leaders to lead with true empathy and compassion, ensuring every team member feels an integral part of their community's success. Discover how Libra can revolutionize your school's culture. For a demo, contact me at jeff@shiftingschools.com. Let's build a future where every educator and staff member feels connected and valued. And now, let's get back to our conversation.
I wonder to what extent you feel like the organization is helping people think about skateboarding in a completely different way. I'm thinking about our podcast last summer was talking about esports and video games and how a lot of students are learning through that in a completely different way. And for many adults, they hear that and it's a what? And I could imagine if you're talking to somebody about we leverage skateboarding. I think skateboarding is another one of those hobbies or activities that doesn't always have the best reputation, but you've like completely flipped that. Are people still very surprised to hear about the way the organization runs or the name itself? Are people often what?
We have honestly grown in popularity. Yes, we still flip heads because our approach is not only different in the sport that we use, it's actually how we do it and how we do it. And why we do it. And we often stop and reflect and ask ourselves the why question. It's not the how, it's not the who, it's not the where, it's the why. And that's really powerful. 2 years ago, we had this big moment and we stopped and asked ourselves, Skateistan has done so much. Skateistan has won an Oscar for a documentary that featured its programs. Skateistan went on and won the International Olympics Committee Prize for Women in Sports. Skateistan has won a UNICEF award. Skateistan has done this and Skateistan has done that. And we grew so much and really attracted the right partners, the right fans, the right champions. And we decided very deliberately to stop and ask, so why Skateistan? Why are we doing this? And Trisha, to be perfectly honest, after months of reflecting and thinking and going back and forth and talking to so many supporters and to so many partners, we realized that Skateistan needs to feature the play aspect in our ethos and in our purpose. And 2 years ago, if you go to the website on the archive, you would see our mission statement as Skateistan, empowering children through education and skateboarding. Today, that it is a different type of purpose where we are intentional about talking about play. And that is really important. And we really realized and learned that along the way. It's incredibly important to have that fun aspect because it encourages our creativity. It encourages children to be resilient. Every person on a skateboard falls, and every person trying to skateboard stands up again and tries again. So all of that is the value that we see with choosing skateboarding as the sport of choice. And it really has an incredible impact.
I love what you just said about you really can't be enjoying play with skateboarding without that element of risk that, but when we think about play and we look at research about play, exactly what you just said is a critical part of it is the learning from our mistakes, is the learning, like, where is that line with like risks that I can take and I can succeed, and rethinking like, oh, I guess I have to do something different. But I also have a community of skateboarders to learn from. That's so beautiful. And Hala, I love what you said about really spotlighting play. And I think it is so important right now, whenever we look at the research around play, the benefits for people of all ages, it's on par with make sure you've got a healthy diet. And I love that what you're doing is you're also adding in that social element that we know is very good for us to be connected with others and to be a part of a community. I am suspicious that folks who work with your organization must all have their own play styles and are all folks who really do value play. Am I wrong, Hala? When you think about play in your life, do you feel like, yes, I really think about it in ways that maybe not the average person thinks about the value of play? Does it have a really big place in your life personally?
Play means a lot to me, and still plays a role in my everyday life. Trisha, I grew up during a time in a country where girls were not expected to be active all the time or play sports. Yet I was one of the lucky ones to find the encouragement and support from my parents to play, pursue sports, climb trees, bruise knees and foreheads and chins. And I found myself being rushed by my parents to the ER to get stitched up so many times. I would say that playing as a child developed so many life skills for me. And I also took sports quite seriously in my young age and fought alongside my teammates for equity. We fought to train in the same spaces offered to the male athletes. We fought to get high caliber coaches to develop our skills. We fought to compete in tournaments that only men's teams were sent to. This all had definitely taught me courage, perseverance, resilience, and definitely taught me to try to have fun while at it, because life is hard. Everything that we try to do, we're trying to be better at something or deliver something or achieve something. And it trying to embed the element of play really helps build this, in my case, the sorority, and really enjoying ourselves while we do this fight. Then it just grew with me throughout my career. When I worked for the United Nations, mainly in conflict zones, the best approach I had was to offer spaces for young people to play together. These instances of play are very powerful in that they create the space for conflicting parties to find their common ground, put aside their differences for a while, and to enjoy themselves for part of their day. Personally, for me, I would say play is definitely extremely powerful, but the could be powerful.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing more about your background. What do you think it means right now to lead an organization that is advocating for play when so many people need play, but yet I find, especially in the land of adults, I don't know that people necessarily are aware of the research, or I just feel like there's almost a resistance to say, I need play. I think sometimes, and I've been guilty of this when I'm talking with folks, like, oh, I'm so busy with work right now. I have so much work to do. What do you think about that in terms of what the organization is doing and what it means to maybe get folks thinking differently about play?
The best part of this, Trisha, is that I co-lead the organization with its founder, Ollie. We moved to the co-leadership space as we are both committed to a shared vision and responsibility. So we do everything as a team and have 100% equal structure. I joined Skateistan 2 years ago, and all through and through, both Ollie and I try to do things differently, with more vigor, with more passion, and of course, with loads of fun. I got on a skateboard for the first time ever 2 years ago, and that quickly resulted in 2 bruised knees, 1 bruised ego, and tons of laughter when I attempted to go down a ramp to quickly catch a quarter pipe. Ambitious, I know, but it was fun. And that experience for me really meant a lot, because that was at the Skateistan skate park in South Africa. And I pretty much learned from the participants who were skateboarding one afternoon. The kids made me feel included in their session and taught me a few life lessons that day. That for me really represents Skateistan's values of being bold, inclusive, and fun. But now as a co-leader in my day-to-day, I don't get to bruise my knees all that often, but in my role, I encourage everyone to find fun and purpose in what they do. In just the past few months, we started our own podcast called Radical Playtime, and we focus our conversations on the power of play. We've just published our 3rd episode, and so far it's been really tons of fun with amazing guest speakers and guest hosts. Last year, we had a collab with an agency called DDB and launched the Play for Skateistan, where gamers can skate our own skate parks and choose real characters from our participants. We also have an open source skate games booklet, and we're working on releasing a second edition this year. The aim of the Skate Games booklet is to help people better understand the value of play, on how to make play more accessible, and how to explore the many opportunities there are to support the work of our partner organizations. We see many benefits to play, and that's exemplified in this booklet, such as participants learn and practice new skate skills without consciously thinking about it, obviously. Games help participants build other non-skate skills like cooperation, teamwork, and creativity. And they can make a flat piece of concrete more interesting and more fun. And many of these games can be played at almost any level, which encourages skaters of different levels to work together. Now, we have this booklet in 10 languages, and we're hoping that the second edition will include more games from all around, making it extremely inclusive, interesting, and relevant. In all of our programs, everyone feels included and heard. That is children, youth, and adults. But let me zoom in to answer your question a bit on the adults piece here. That is the coaches that run the programs, the practitioners, the caregivers. We aim to make things inclusive and playful for these adults in and around Skateistan's ecosystem. The podcast that I just mentioned, the docuseries that we've also just launched, and the Skate Games booklet, and so much more that Skateistan offers are all ways to have adults experience play and embed play in what they do. And as a nonprofit, we're always striving to find the right partners for Skateistan to help us be more creative and more playful, more intentional, and definitely more representative in every aspect of our work.
Mackin Educational Resources has once again partnered with us for our summer mini-series. Thank you to Mackin for continuing to be a partner of the Shifting Schools community. Their new product, Mackin Vision, is the future of library management. Created with your students' need at the forefront, Mackin Vision offers a user-friendly interface that simplifies navigation, making it easy for students to find what they need. This state-of-the-art system includes features like intuitive browsing, secure multi-level access, multimedia searching, and whole school rostering. Additionally, it has a teacher library portal, aggregated dashboard, live analytics, and centralized reporting. Mackin Vision is designed to streamline your school's library operations. Learn more about how Mackin Vision can benefit your school at mackin.com/MackinVision. Schedule your free demonstration and experience the future today.
My side agenda with wanting to have you come on the show is I think there's a great interdisciplinary teaching moment for folks to think about, because we have the business nonprofit aspect of look at how this organization has grown, at the partnerships they've cultivated, but also look at kind of the marketing, for lack of a better word, around how you are communicating your mission and values. Nonprofits need to do that, right? Like they do need to be attractive. So what are they doing to tell literally the story? Look at the story of it. And then I think there's also this great piece, especially for high school students who are starting to think more about what career path do I want to go on? And how can I seek out a career path that is really going to feel meaningful? We know that the younger generation, that's a much larger consideration for them. They do want to feel like their work is meaningful. And I wonder if, in closing, Hala, you could leave us with, for that teacher who they are thinking about one of their students who loves skateboarding and never thought about, there actually might be a broader sense of career pathways linked to this passion. Maybe I'm not going to be a professional skateboarder. I might not compete in the Olympics. But what if I saw skateboarding as something that was essential, as you were saying, for community building, for healing, for growth, for learning? What are some of the skills that you think are so important for you in your co-leadership of a nonprofit? For somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps, what are some things that you think, hey, this is a part of the job, or this is a mindset or a skill set that you want to make sure you have if you'd like to be able to do work like this?
We do also offer programs for youth who are starting to think about that and who really feel that they're linked to skateboarding just because they went through a long program where skateboarding was integral to their development, but don't necessarily want to become skateboarders or compete. And it's incredible, Trisha, how these young people unleash their potential for creativity in what they do. We know that someone wants to become a designer and own a skate brand. Others want to actually become community outreach leaders because they feel that there's this sense of community that skateboard offers and think it's really valuable. So they're also translating the skills that they got exposed to in totally different aspects of the career. And I think there's a very important mission that we are on, women in general. There's a growing interest in representation, and that's really important. We have to be in positions of leadership, and we have to really influence decisions for the future. And that's really something that probably my generation fought for, but other generations are taking the responsibility and are stepping up. And that's really beautiful. In the skateboard community, there are loads and loads of examples where Minoop fought the fight and won the battle to have skaters have equal pay. That's not easy to come by. Indigo Willing, on the other side, really is trying to be more inclusive in running a research program on skateboarding. We have incredible examples, and we're so fortunate to have such representation, supporting Skateistan's growth, giving us guidance, and really giving us inspiration. So when women have really forged this path, then it makes somehow my path clearer. And when I get that support, I can offer it to others. So in a way, that's a network of responsibility. And it's really something that I want to play a role in. And I want to be supportive because I did feel that and I did receive the support. But that also extends to allies as well. Oli has been extremely supportive. He's sharing a lot of what he built, and the examples just continue. So yeah, it is something that means a lot personally for me, and I would definitely want to take on this responsibility to help others also find their way.
I feel like what you're doing is you're reminding us that responsibility is also opportunity and is a way to really communicate care and to give back. Listeners, you're going to find lots of links over there in the show notes for you to learn much more about Skateistan. I promise you it's going to be something that you're going to want to make sure your students are aware of, that they can learn from and connect with. Hala, thank you so much for taking the time to share more with us today.
Thanks a lot, Trisha, for having me.